De mare.
Welcome, 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 family. Good morning, grand rising, bonjour, sabah al khair, salamu alaikum, masa al khair, wherever you are in the world. May peace, blessings, and love surround you. My name is Dima Mahmood, and I'm the mother of Africa Week 2020, and this is the last day of our September reunion. As ever, this is an open discussion, so I am going to put the comments here. I'm going to put the link in the comments, and you are welcome to join me for an open discussion on what's right with Africa. For those of you who have been following throughout the week and have had a chance to see some of the programs, some of the conversations and the discussions that we've had throughout the week, for me, that's what's right with Africa. The fact that we are able to come at the intensity and the passion and the love that we have shown up as, that we continue to show up for as a family, tells me that we have a lot that's right with Africa. We're just not seeing it in the media. When we're not seeing it in the media because representation matters. And since representation matters, if we see the greatness, if mainstream media was actually reporting anything remotely close to the truth, then people of African ancestry everywhere would see the greatness we have within. And that's something the system is not prepared for. The system is not interested in. The system that is designed to keep us in limbo, to keep us lost, to keep us disconnected, is not interested in us reaching out to one another. But what's right with Africa and with our people, with our family everywhere, is that for a while now we've been realizing that, for a while now we've acknowledged that. And so we've devised other ways to connect with one another. And in many ways, that's perhaps one of the biggest blessings emerging from this whole pandemic, is that in addition to it forcing us to look within, it's also forced us to find other ways to navigate this so-called new normal that they speak of. And so we found ways to come together even when we're apart. We found ways to literally make one another feel, well, I don't want to say make one another feel, because we don't make each other feel anything, in that sense at least. To be present for one another. We have managed to be one another's brother, sister, neighbor, friend, confidant, cheerleaders, healers, counselors, just by showing up at this platform, seeing us come together the way we have come together, whether it's how we engage in the comment space, or how we engage with the discussions and the panels, or how we are drawing more of our family, more of our people, more of our circles into this family, into this platform, tells me that we have a lot more that's right with us. And we're all equally eager to find it, equally eager to prove it. Buenos dias, Joey. Joey Zaza says, buenos dias a todos. Joey, how are you? Sending you love all the way from Maryland. The link is there. Pop up for a hello. We saw your face from behind a door, hiding behind Sandra. But it's Sunday. Hop up and have a coffee with me, you and Sandra. Let me put the comment down again. Oh, and tomorrow's such a Sunday. Oh, yeah. Join me and tell me what your favorite panel was, what your favorite discussion, what resonated with you, what did you feel was missing? What did you feel about that unicorn version of what you see coming from Africa? I quite enjoyed that one. Here. I'm just sharing the link with some people, telling them to hop on if and when you're free. Ooh. And we have more of you. Please, family, tell us where you're tuning in from, what is there. I need more of this. What are you looking forward to? What have you enjoyed this Africa Week 2020? What has resonated with you or sent forward that message that we are indeed Africa rising? Have you read anything positive that you care to share with us, tell us about? What do you think of some of the topics that we raised? Are you ready for the debate? Are you ready for I Debate Rwanda to come through again and tell us if Africa is ready for the return of the icons? If Africans are ready for the return of the icons? I don't know if you tuned into the discussion yesterday with Inaz Zaitoun and Jara, and we're talking about how we are expected as Africans to prove that we can look after our history, to prove that we can look after our antiquities, after our artifacts, because we don't have trained archaeologists in the field, because we don't have trained conservators, because our museums aren't up to the Western standards of what museums are meant to be. Not that I am giving credit to how our museums are. Our museums could use a lot more work. Some of us actually need to have museums altogether to reintroduce the concept of museums into the countries. But Zaitoun raised a very, very valid point. Our antiquities, our heritage was not made to be in museums. And so the fact that we're now being told that we need to be able to run museums in a way that would be the condition upon the return of our stolen artifacts is ridiculous. And the fact that Africans, at least the African people, I won't say the governments, but the African people are categorically rejecting that And we're talking about that quite openly, and we're voicing our rejection of any form of dictation of the conditions for which our antiquities return, is very right with Africa. You see, time and time again this week and before, we have said that being on the front lines doesn't mean one particular way or one specific thing that you do. That means that you're on the front line of this global Black Lives Movement. We need to be able to do it on all fronts. We need to be able to fight this fight in the ring, on the street, in our offices, at our universities, at our schools, at our kindergartens, at our community gardens, at our villages, at our family gatherings, at everything, at every level. We need to be able to have these discussions and have them openly and say, we're going to be working with what we have. I don't feel comfortable being around all the people in the protest. For whatever reason, this is how I'm going to be protesting. This is how I'm going to be raising awareness. I'm going to be behind the screen writing more papers. I'm going to be directing more films. I'm going to be curating more art exhibitions. There is now more than ever a recognition that we can do what we put our minds to. And we don't need to wait for approval of any institution to tell us, yes, you may do that. This platform here, Africa Week 2020, is a simple example of that. We just decided we're going to come together. And that's what we're doing. And that's what we've been doing since May. On average, since May, we have had at least 2,000 of us come together every single month. Willingly. No one's forcing you to come. No one's forcing you to tune in. We are willingly coming together because we want to catch up. We want to see what's happening. We want to look for the good, for the great, for the positive, for the light, for this energy that we felt coming together. At least 2,000 of us keep coming back every month. I want us to feel and see and visualize what happens if that number keeps growing. Yesterday was such a highlight. I'm still buzzing from that session. It was a long session. I did not expect it to be that long. I did not. And I'll be talking about that more in the closing ceremony. And I hope you'll join the closing ceremony. Applause. Thank you, Joey. Joey, get on the screen. Click on that link. Come and say good morning. Or no, yeah, you're in Ohio. It's good morning. It's really morning there. Come through. Joey's another example of how we come together and really, really embodies doing what works for you and still be here and still show up. Well, you have 40 minutes because then we have something else starting. But he wasn't able to come through with a panel, but he pulled in the best connect and connected us with his fantastically talented mom and his energetically charged sister, who makes these amazing bags, and I got myself a clutch, which I can't wait for. Um, and that's how he showed up. He didn't have his panel, he didn't have a session of his own, but he showed up. Not only did he personally show up, he grew our family. Because in bringing in Carmen and bringing in Ali, we brought in their family. We brought in their respective circles. That means our family has now encompassed a whole other family. Good morning. Good morning, Dwayne. Join us. This is an open discussion. We have our coffee and we're talking about what's right with Africa. The link should be on the video somewhere. There is not one way to do anything. There isn't. And as much as I'm personally trying to hold myself accountable in what I say, because, you know, at some point I've gotten conditioned to saying, oh, the only way to do this, whether there isn't only one way to do anything. There just isn't. We are that creative. We are that dynamic. And yes, we are that different. And different doesn't have to be a bad thing. I grew up being told I'm different. I'm all kinds of different. And I'll take it. Because when we started Africa Week 2020 and I said I'm going for a week-long live streaming, that's different. Yeah, but it's a fantastic different. It's a kind of different that now has me see my family of over 2,000 people come together from around the world. I can deal with that kind of different. I could use more of that different. I think we all can. We are seeing ourselves be kinder to one another. Actually kinder, not just this sugar coating sweet, nice, yeah, you got it, you know, being cheerleaders for one another. No, we're actually being kinder. Think about it. Think about the interactions you've been seeing from within your family, within your circles, within your friends. Everyone's stressed. Sure, a lot of people are really panicked, not sure what's happening next. And somehow all this uncertainty, all this madness that's happening outside, and we feel it putting the pressure on, or we're feeling it on our shoulders or heavy on our chests, but somehow it's pushing us to be kinder to one another. Somehow it's pushing us to stop, well, hang on, what's this person really going through? What's this person really struggling with? How does it feel to be essentially stuck or locked up in indoors? And what is the impact of being with yourself, really, and being forced to go within for such a long time after ultimately doing everything within your power to escape yourself? Because if we really think about it, all this distraction that was happening pre-COVID, all this running around and juggling all the million timelines and calendars and invites and socializing and networking and meetings and conferences and all of that. It's just ways for us to not deal with what we're really feeling, to not deal with what we've tried to avoid, to not look into our trauma. Because like Elaine said, and I really, really appreciate him saying that, and if you've missed those 2 sessions with him, the ones on Black Love Stories, please go back and watch them. I know you will find inspiration. I know you will find a message in there for you, because there's a message in there for all of us. The interview announcing the Black Love Story series and the actual Black Love Story series. But what he was saying is any adult in 2020 has endured some form of trauma. Whether or not we've healed from it, whether or not we acknowledge it, whether or not we've asked for help for it, whether or not we've consoled ourselves and told ourselves, yes, this happened, is a completely different story. But we've all gone through some traumatic experience. And in many ways, I think, at least for those who keep coming back here to Africa Week 2020, acknowledge that much. Acknowledge that we've all been traumatized. Acknowledge that we all need to heal. And acknowledge that this is one of the ways that we can all heal. What else? Let's see. Family, wherever you're tuning in from the world, say hello in your language. Tell me what good happened in your day so far. What are you looking forward to today? We have some fire coming through today. We have the Bomba Revolution, women. The great Ivalis is coming back and is coming back with her Bomba woman, and they're speaking about revolution. Don't miss that out. Let's see what time it starts exactly so I can let you know. Yes. At 9:45 Eastern Standard Time. At 9:45 Eastern Standard Time, we have the Bomba Revolution, and at 9:15 we have the return of the icons. As I said, Are Africans Ready? And at 12 p.m. EST, that's 7 p.m. East Africa time, we have the closing ceremony. Mark your calendars, put a reminder, stop by. We'll have a few announcements for the family. And then there's a 6T with Alexandra. Don't miss that. That's at 2 p.m. And we have Queen Mother Imako in concert. She starts at 3:45. Very excited about a reading. We have a kids reading from a book called Perfect Just Like You. We have Control, an award-winning author, Control Wright, who will be joining us for the first time. So our family is growing. Joey! Ooh, you're frozen. Hello, hello, hello. Oh no. Joey dropped off. It wasn't in my head though. You saw it too. He's here. I think. I hope. Family, wherever you're tuning in from, say hello, stop by, tell us what you're looking forward to. Tell us if there's something to celebrate that you're celebrating, something you need us to pray for, something that's weighing on your mind, something that's giving you hope, something that's making you worry. Whatever it is, share it with us. We're here for it all. I'll drop the link again. I don't know if it'll allow me to pin up. Oh, wait, maybe if I do it from Facebook. Yeah, here we go. Thank you. It's my mom's. Duane is saying he loves my outfit. This is Mama Noons. Hello, hello, Juan. Good morning. Please join us. I'm dropping the link. Say hello. You've joined us to a few of the sessions. If I remember correctly, you're John Wayne, I think. Coming through with different names. Here we are. Click on that link. Come through, say good morning, have a coffee with me, have a tea. Tell us what we did right this week, what you felt we could do better. I tell you what I think. We're going to be going into what we could have done better at the closing ceremony. We always do. I always do. I always end up going there. But it's a way to hold myself accountable. So hold me accountable. Come through. Tell me, what was this week about for you? Ali! Hello, hello. Bonjour. Oh, it's so good to see you come through. Well, you know, there's time for the story. Click on the link. Come and tell us the story. Juan. Ali, click on the link. Come through. Say good morning. Tell us what's been happening with you. Joey is your brother from another mother. He's all our brothers. Juan, he's I mean, well, now we have La Mama in the circle here, so whether we like it, whether he likes it or not, there's no getting away. Big love to you in Paris, Ali. Big love, big love. Tell us, how are you? How are things? How have you been? What have you seen from, if you've seen anything from Africa Week 2020 this time around? We've missed you at the family hour. We won't have one later on today, but we'll be back, and we'll talk more about that at the closing ceremony. It's so good to see everyone back here. That's so nice. This is what's right with Africa. I've never met Ali in my life. I've never met Juan. Connected through a session that Joey Zaza made possible by connecting us to his mom. And now it's like I'm seeing my long lost brothers. Thank you, Ali. Do that. We are here for another 20 minutes, fam. Click the link, join, say hello, let the family see how easygoing and just flowy this is. Click on the link, come up here with whatever you're having for breakfast or for tea or for lunch or for your break, whatever time it is around the world. I'm going to try and play some Hamza Deen in the background here. Okay, Joey Zaza's back. I don't see you. Click on the link. I was going to be reading some of these quotes for you, but then I thought that'd be good to have them at the closing ceremony. I guess I could read some of them from some of the conversations that happened this week. I know, right? You're right. You're right. You know what? I didn't invoke that banner today. Here, I'll do it just for you. There you go. Okay, Joey, you try it now. Not today, Tech Gremlins. We should be good. Give it a shot now. Try clicking that link. Let's see. Okay, I'll send the link. Voila. Eso. Did that come through? Can everyone see the link? Yes. I see our numbers are going up. Tell us where you're tuning in from. If you're just stopping by to say hello, to see what's going on, just say hello and go on your merry way. Say good morning. Tell us what you're up to today, this Sunday. Tell us if you can believe that September's almost over. What? Tell us how or why October is already here. Can you believe we're already on the 10th month, getting ready to start the 10th month of 2020? I don't know how that happened. Okay, here we are. Are you in superhero? Oh my God, you're in superhero gear.
I'm Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I'm not. This. So the banner worked. Okay, so in the future, I need to start the day with that. Joey, welcome.
How are you? Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing good. Before anything, let me clarify what happened yesterday, day before yesterday. I had two people that are really knowledgeable on hip hop and the subculture of hip hop and everything that it involves. And I had written to you that I was waiting for a time slot. I think you were waiting for me to tell you when they could come on, and I'm waiting for you to tell me when they could come on. So
communication is important. This is why you're just supposed to pick up that phone or a voice note. This is why we need to speak.
But I'm glad you've gotten to meet a lot of my people, of my family.
Are your people still ready for a time slot?
I don't know. I could find out in a few hours.
Find out, because if they are, I will create. I mean, I'm vanishing after the closing ceremony. I'm going to find myself a river and just go set camp there for a bit.
Very important. That's something that I've seen. Not just this past week, but when we in May, was it the first? It's something that I've been saying for a long time. The further people get from nature, the further we're getting from humanity, the further we're getting from ourselves.
That's so true.
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And my first interaction with plants was I had my mom buy me a window box and some seeds. And I started growing. I say it's cellular information passing down through the generations, because my family never wanted me to learn how to plant. They never wanted me to become a farmer, especially my family in Puerto Rico.
Why?
In Puerto Rico, there's a bad way of thinking, which is you were born in the States, you're bilingual, you don't belong here. You need to go make money in the States. So they won't teach you things like that are part of our culture. They won't do it.
But you can still make money with farming. So why?
Well, you can eat. That's most importantly. That's the most important part. You can eat.
No, I get that, but I'm saying if the argument is that you're bilingual and you need to go to the States to make money, why isn't it seen that you could make money through farming?
The only thing I guess, because it's what I've seen, unless you can pay for 2 cell phones for everybody in the house, have 3 cars, though there's only 2 people with licenses and stuff like that, then you're not making money.
Oh, okay.
No, you have to have the newest phone, the newest car, the newest everything. And it's
all over Puerto Rico, or is it?
Oh no, that's all over. You can go into the mountains and still find people like that. People that are 10th generation farmer, 10th generation Jibaro. I got to get out. You know, I have to become part of the technological world. I have to have myself a luxury car. It's in the time of the criollos, you were either part of or very similar to the Spaniards, or you were prosecuted. Those were the only two options. You know, they
recognize that this is, you know, that essentially that this is a contribution and continuation of feeding into a system that is designed to oppress us as a people. It's understood. Like, the thing is, because, for example, in Nubian communities, we'd hear the elders speak about all the problems and how the system, you know, has robbed them of the rights and all of that, but there's no action towards it, and they're still engaging in that because it's the same thing. It's you can only be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, and if you say, okay, I'm going to be an artist, or I'm going to be a musician, or I'm going to preserve the language, or I'm going to, then that's all stuff that's not, it's not safe, and it won't give you a secure future.
Yeah, it's almost frowned upon.
Oh yeah. And you know, there's a solid chance you're going to be disowned for some time, or like not spoken to, or just like pushed to the side. But ultimately, when you try having this conversation, and it's definitely a conversation, which is why I'm so grateful for that panel that Alexandra had yesterday with the Black Boomers, because we need to be able to have that intergenerational connect, where we're able to say, well, it wasn't that long ago when you were complaining about X, Y, and Z, and now we have the same thing going on, and we need to find a different way of doing it, but that's still frowned upon, and that's still rejected. And if we don't have elders backing us up to say, actually, they're right. So I loved what Rabia was saying on that panel. It's like, we just need to get out of this generation's way. It's right. It's not up to us. We had a way of doing things, and this is where we're at right now because of how that generation did things. Now you have a new generation coming through trying to do things differently. If you don't agree with them, just get out of their way. Like, don't be.
I don't agree with that fully.
You don't agree with what?
The fact that of that statement, you know, it's the moment of the youth. Get out their way, let them do what they have to do. You don't really get to know who you are until you're close to your 30s. That's first of all.
Well,
second of all, there's a certain age span where it's not aggression. It's unfortunately perceived as aggression, but it's that unguided energy that we do need for situations like this, you know what I mean? For pushing our people forward. But if you let a person loose in the forest without at least showing them the sky, the North Star, without a compass, without a map, if they have no guidance, they're going to get lost.
Oh, but that's not what she's not saying without guidance. She's just saying don't be a block.
Oh.
She's saying, don't be, because, for example, when I was getting ready to and saying, you know, I'm finished with the US. I'm finished with anything that's not Africa. I'm packing my bags and I'm going to the continent. And at that point, it was January 2019, and I was at a point where I was like, I don't even know where I'm going in the continent. I know I'm going to be in the continent. I know I've decided that 2019 is going to be my last full-time year in the US, as far as I'm concerned. Whether I was going to be in Kenya or Ethiopia or Sudan or Egypt, that was still up in the air. It didn't crystallize to it being Sudan until the sit-in sparked the revolution at the magnitude it did in Sudan. And at some point, it was in June. It was the 5th of June that I decided I'm going to Sudan, because that was when I saw the price that was paid. That's when I saw bodies get pulled out of the Nile, bodies that were there to make it safe for me to return.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers and sisters who sacrificed and lost their lives so that Sudan can have a better future, so that I can go home and I can say, this is mine. So when I got to that point and I said, no, I'm going. Yeah, sure, my family supported me, but that kind of support was, you know, a question mark. What do you, like, even when I went to the village, the family was like, what do you mean you left the US? Like, why are you here? Are you dizzy? What, you know, are you unwell? Why are you just up and leaving? And why are you coming here? And why are you wasting your life? And why are you throwing your life away? And it was that kind of energy that's being projected into my saying, this is where I belong. And as long as I am putting my energy anywhere else, I am wasting it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not in the business of wasting my energy. And this is, you know, I am just acquainting myself with what it means to feel my energy go out towards something.
And that's a blessing, because everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a talent. Unfortunately, not everybody finds it within their lifetime.
Yeah.
And to have out of nowhere, all of a sudden, that spark that creates a whole new galaxy for you. Yeah. You know, it's not even a new world. It's a whole new galaxy for you to go out, explore, to push, to build. That's a blessing in itself.
It really is.
That's a blessing in itself. I mean, I do martial arts. I do graffiti. I paint. I draw. I sew. I design clothes. I write music. I play drums. I play conga. All this stuff. And yet, being close to nature is what fills me the most. And it's the one, well, other than hip hop, and when I was studying Islam, that was the thing that my family just really didn't enjoy.
No.
They really didn't enjoy. And the spark happened to me in Puerto Rico. The economical situation is really, pardon my French, it's fucked up, because there's no other way to explain it. It's just wrong on so many different levels. And it was really difficult to find a job. So I took advantage of my family's land that they didn't want me to take over. And I took over. I went in and I broke the chain. I broke the lock and I went in, and this is mine.
Yeah.
This is mine. Besides the fact, it's of the better times that I've spent with my grandmother, who's not with me anymore. So yeah, we spent a lot of time up there. So I was working it for a few years, and there was just one day that I was really, really frustrated. My mind was just everywhere. And I was talking to Sandy, and I'm like, I failed you. I'm sorry. I am really, really sorry I failed you. And she goes, why? I go, I can't provide. I can't do anything for you. There's nothing. I've never been one of those proud men. Oh, she makes more money than me or what.
Yeah.
It's still ours. Whatever's mine is ours. Whatever's hers is ours. It's ours. It's an our thing, you know? So I'm like, you know, I failed you. I can't do anything. She goes, listen, come here. And she opened up the fridge and she opened up the freezer. She's like, we have tostones of plantain. We have tostones of pana. We have pana there ready to make like this. White beans, black beans, red beans. We had bananas. We had oranges. We had just full of food. None of it was bought from the supermarket. And she goes, look at this fridge. Look how full it is. And dare look at me in my face and tell me again that you're not doing anything. That was the spark.
Queen.
Oh yeah. That's my goddess right there. That's my, the way, because for a while I was studying the Nation of Gods and Earth, what's called the 5 Percenter, a branch off of the Nation of Islam, and they call women Earth because you produce, you give life. We're here to shine and to let down our rays of positive vibes to help you give birth, not just physical, but give birth to ideas, to mentalities, to emotions. And that's my Earth. That's my Earth.
Imani agrees full force. And I fully second and third and
bro, you put in work. Oh, you gotta put in the work. This is one of the things that that really Beto pulled me into Africa Week. Beto es oro.
Yes.
That's my dude, that's my brother. I love Beto. He brought me into Africa Week, but what made me stay and continue with it is I see some people might feel bad, and I apologize. I know I have a very abrupt way of speaking and explaining sometimes.
Space.
But I feel like Africa Week is weeding out the garden. See if that makes sense. Because as you can tell from the way I speak, I'm a very hands-on person. So if you can talk the talk, that's fine if I want to hear you, but I'm trying to build stuff. So if you can't walk the walk, motherfucker, you need to get out of our way. You need to get out of our way because we got shit to do.
Yes.
We've got a lot of shit to do. And one of the reasons I was talking to Sandy about this yesterday, and she had to give me dap on it, is I've been on the back scenes. I've been in the background and trying to get everybody connected and all that. I don't know if you could tell on the bottom, El Cacique. I
can. I was going.
That means the chieftain. That name was given to me.
The chief.
I didn't choose that for myself. It was given to me.
Okay.
And since that day, I took it to heart. I need to conduct myself as such. And I'm very glad that during this past week, you've been able to meet my tribe. A chieftain is only as good as his tribe.
Well, your tribe came through and came through and through and through.
And we're all leaders and we're all followers. Depends who has the higher knowledge.
Creators and creators. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Creators. What? Oh, yeah.
That's what we do. If you're not, I mean, we can read and we can speak and we can do all these discussions, you know, till we're blue in the face. It doesn't make us a Smurf. We need to move.
Yeah.
We need to move. We need to do things.
Yeah.
You know, and not just for us. We need to learn how to be happy with other people's happiness.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have any brothers, biological brothers. I have many that I've chosen and that have chosen me. You know, brothers from another mother. John is one of them. Like Juan Peyo, that's one of them.
One.
And
Beto.
we gotta keep it tight for those next to us. One of my brothers taught me you should always be happy with somebody else's goals as if they were your own.
Yes, yes.
Because if you live in a community and you make sure you put yourself aside and you make sure that everybody in your community is okay, your community will never let you die of hunger. Never. Never, never, never. I've known people of questionable legality that cleaned the streets, literally cleaned the streets. You know, would not allow an elder to carry their own groceries home. True Robin Hood, a true Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And that's what we all should be, not work in questionable legality, but make sure that, you know, your neighbors are okay.
That we're here for it. That we're here for it. Yesterday, there was it was a discussion that ended up being a 4.5-hour panel, Joey. Go back and watch it. It started off by a conversation connecting the indigenous and Afrocentric struggle from the continent to the indigenous struggle here to the Quilombo communities in Brazil.
We were listening in. We were happy that we could understand a lot of the Portuguese.
I'm so grateful for Cat. If you're tuned in, I give thanks to you and the translations. I mean, a 4.5-hour session. But the energy that was in that family coming together and saying, we're here for it. And that one of the quotes is that a Quilombo is to be present, is to be here, is to be here for our family, is to be here to educate ourselves, to admit that as much as we know, we still don't know, to admit that we're here for the guidance and we're grounded enough to say when we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And we're solid enough in our conviction and in our blessings to know that this guidance will come to us when we need it, the way we need it, the way we're ready to receive it, because we don't all receive this guidance the same way, and we're not all...
If we need it.
If we need it.
The universe decided that I didn't need anybody to teach me how to farm. I learned everything on my own, and a year before Grandma died, I was teaching her. I was teaching her.
Yeah, well.
So that all goes to do the knowledge, do the studies, educate yourselves. It doesn't mean it's just going to an educational institution. You know, pick up a book, articles, talk to people, educate yourselves, so then you can do for others.
Yes.
That's walking the walk. That's walking the walk. I'm always trying to get my boys to plant. You know what I mean? You guys aren't doing anything, or you only got a part-time or this and that. Plant. It helps, you know, money saved is money earned.
Yeah. Yes.
For a while, nobody was paying attention to it. So then I was like, you know what? I'm done spewing hot air. I'm just going to do it myself. Joey, where are you? I'm on the farm. You're Joey, where you at? I'm at the farm. Got to a point where they knew that if they wanted to see me, they had to go to the farm.
Wow.
Many of them picked up a machete, picked up an axe, picked up this, picked up that, and now they're planting at their own home.
That's amazing.
So it's better when you just do and lead by example, because that's what leaders do. Leaders don't say, yo, come on, let's go do this. No, I'm doing this.
They will
follow me if you want. If not, I don't care. I know I'm doing my part.
That's what I love about our reunions here, because that's what it's about. You want to bring something to the table, bring it. If people have something to add to it, they'll come and they'll add it. If people want to know, they'll come and they'll ask. but you feel that there is something that we as a family need to pay attention to, bring it to the family's attention. You know, there's so much for us to cover. There's so much for us to do. There's so much for us to learn about. But Alexandra and I can't, nor should we, be expected to loop all of that in, because we each hold a piece of the puzzle. We're each experts in one particular, more than one thing, but at least that one thing that we feel so strongly about, we need to be comfortable in saying, okay, this is what matters to me right now the most. I'm bringing this to the table. I need to sort out how to fix this, how to make this happen, how to bring what I'm seeing as far as this here, and how I can build it. And we have someone saying great times at the farm.
Yeah, that's John. Mi hermano, te quiero. La finca, yeah. We grew up on that land. I mean, we would cut class just to go there and sit under the tree or in the tree or run around the trees, and we're already in high school.
That's you see, so this helps me because ultimately this is what I'm going to be doing in the village. I started to learn how to farm certain things, so they were testing me and they really didn't think I was serious. But like, okay, well, when you come back, we'll teach you. I was like, no, I want to learn. Teach me one thing now before I leave, so at least I can say I started. And they thought I was joking, so they set a day and they're like, all right, well, we're going to be planting onions if you want to stop by. And, you know, exactly at the time they said they're starting, I show up and like, oh, you were serious. I was like, I'm here for it. I'm serious. I have friends who want to come and join and do this thing. And I don't feel, I can't in good consciousness tell them to come if it's something I haven't tried, if it's something I haven't done. You know, I can't expect the rest of the family, like I'm telling the youth from the village to come back, to stop being in Saudi Arabia or the Emirates or wherever they are, you know, working whatever job or minimum wage job or whatever it is that they're working. Like, why? You can be doing the same thing here. We don't need to be paying for tax. We don't need to be paying rent. We don't need to be paying. We have our homes. We have our land. We have all this space, and we have the River Nile right there. It's not even that we don't have water. The Nile is right there. The Nile is a 7-minute walk from my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm just like, but I can't tell them to just drop what they're doing and come through if it's not something I've tried, I've done, I've stayed there. Because even now, if I say that, I would have just gone for 3 months and come back, because I ended up being stuck here for COVID and all things COVID. And everything happens for a reason, and I'm embracing that. I'm okay. It's not time yet for me to be situated, but I started, and I can say I started. And I think one of the biggest things is the starting point. Figuring out where to start. And for that, I'm very grateful to see that we are collectively starting to start. Sometimes
the best place to start is with a mistake.
Joey,
it's a misconception we have.
That is your quote for this week.
Sometimes the misconception that we have is like, okay, I'm ready for this. I want this. Let me do it. And it's going to come out right the first time.
The best.
No, I study martial arts. I know it doesn't come out right the first time.
Hey, you never know.
But yeah, the proof is in the pudding. You gotta put in the work. For a long time, I was telling people, look, you know what? Let's try to plant things. You know, in Puerto Rico, I said, let's plant things that aren't from here. Over here in the States, let's plant things that are from Puerto Rico. I have at least 3 different plants that technically are not supposed to grow in Ohio, and I have them here growing. I had an apple tree growing in Puerto Rico. They're not supposed to grow in Puerto Rico.
Seriously, I'm very serious now about having you come to Nubia and navigate that with me, because they want to. Okay, so my cousins, I have 5 cousins there, and I'm gonna have to leave because people are hopping up for our debate. You better tune in for this debate.
Yes.
okay, so they've grown things, you know, their whole lives, but now my cousins are like, well, you know, we never really thought would like to you know, delve into the potato field, but now we have someone who came and tried the potatoes and it's working fine. So we want to see what else we know how to do. So what seeds are there? What you know, what works with our climate? And that's all stuff that I have no idea about. I was like, you know what are we gonna lose? Let's just start collecting whatever we can collect and let's try and see that. But I also know that there are certain things can be invasive, certain things can be
Yeah.
so I need to be careful about that. So I need someone who at least
You have to know the plan.
Yes. Yeah. So
you have to know the plan. And something that helped me was realize that plants don't have a clock, they don't have a calendar, they don't have a map. So this plant will only grow in this time of the year, you know, in this season. No. They need conditions. Like apples need a cold snap. They need a time of cold. But they don't look at a calendar. Oh, snap, it's November. Let me start going into dormant season. You know, they don't do that. So what I did is I said, okay, the cold season starts around November, ends around the end of February, beginning of March. So for those about 4 months, what I did is I gave the apple tree nothing but ice water.
Oh.
So it didn't have its season, but it had the condition that it needs. Just like humans, there are certain conditions that we need in order to progress and give forth good fruit.
Wisdom. Thank you. Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm with you all day. Spider-Man's here all day.
All right, Spider-Man. Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you hopping on and tuning in with What's Right with Africa, and for embodying What's Right with Africa as well, for being this reminder. Thank you so much, Joey.
Thank you, Dima.
Stay tuned. I am about to transition over to the next panel as we begin this debate. Refresh your... Oh, Joey, there's a question for you here. Oh, wait, you're muted.
All right, Dewey. Man, that's a big yes and a big no. Yes, I do. Technically, I own 1 or 2 mamey trees on my land in Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, I'm not there right now. And a bigger frown on that is that I have some cousins that waited for me to move to the United States, and they just squatted and moved into on my land. What they've done with the plants, I have no idea. But keep in touch with the whole Africa Week family. And as soon as I have anything that I can help you out with, we get in contact. I'll let you know.
There you go, Dewey. Thank you, Imani. Love and light. And one saying...
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's not that it's something that you're trying to do can't be done at the beginning, but you take your level of skills that first time that you did it, and if you were to like DJ against yourself right now, the DJ right now is gonna knock the old one out the box. So, you know, there's certain martial arts technique that maybe I got, not a technique or a character that I got correct the first time, but if I was to fight myself from 16 years ago right now, the 16-year younger one is in for some serious trouble.
Well, fam, you heard it here. Stay tuned. Joey's going to find out whether or not we'll be back with a hip hop panel at some point later on today. And he's here the whole day. I hope you will be as well. I'm going to go get these brilliant minds ready for a debate on whether or not Africans are ready for the return of their icons.
And I need more coffee.
And more coffee, yes. Until then, thank you, peace and blessings, and refresh your browser.